Hello, everyone. Welcome to BroadBoys podcast. I'm Cade. This is Micah. Got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. Stuff I'm pretty passionate about personally. I just need to say something that's going to shock a lot of people. The PS5 has a game. It lost one recently.
Yeah, I know.
But it has a game now, and it's called Astrobot, and it's a game.
And it's a game. It's doing very well.
Yes, it's kind of crazy to think about, like, the roller coaster that Sony's been on.
No.
And because there's Astrobot, but there's the PS5 Pro, and all of this is coming off the heels of Concord and some new developer statements since the last episode that was said about that whole situation. I'm a little inflamed. You could say I'm a little heated up.
Well, let's start with the good.
Yes.
So Astrobot just came out. It's a really cute platformer, PlayStation exclusive. And it's selling extraordinarily well, and a lot of people are even saying Game of the Year material, which is crazy because I hadn't heard about it until it was out.
Well, that's the Black Myth Wukong thing for a lot of other people too.
It's true.
It's basically, from looking at the gameplay, I can kind of get the vibes that it's more, it's a 3D platformer. You go through different worlds, you collect different skins for the Astrobots, and the skins are different characters.
I know.
From not just PlayStation's history, but a lot of third party, like you got Street Fighter, you know, and Guilty Gear. So you got a lot of
180 cameos or something in it.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Absolutely insane. The fan service off the charts. Love that, right? Like, I knew it was coming up. I knew it was releasing, but I didn't know how critically acclaimed it would end up being. And I think that was unexpected for a lot of people. I'm personally very happy that it came from Sony.
Yeah, I think it looks great. Very much the sort of party game-esque vibes. It's not a party game, but like Mario Galaxy, I believe is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it looks great. It looks fun. I did see that it's only 8 hours long.
Okay.
So I guess, it's kind of short, but
For how much money though?
I think it
$30.
I think it's $30.
$30.
I think it's $30. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But I think it's $30.
Yeah. And so, all right. So yeah, obviously it doesn't look like a game you would play, right? Or it doesn't seem like it.
Well, I would totally, like, I think it's a console game. I don't think I'd ever play it at my PC, but like sitting down and playing it on my TV, I could totally see myself doing it.
Okay, let's unpack that a little more.
Yeah.
So you would really, that's a living room game for you.
It is very much a living room game for me.
Okay.
That's like, you have family or friends over and you just want to pop something on and play a little bit. That feels good, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's family friendly. It looks great. I think that's good.
Okay. Fantastic. I think we're gonna have slightly differing opinions.
Yeah.
On this. Well, when we get to my main points, it looks like I think it came at the perfect time because as we said before, it's kind of like this U with Astro Boy being the peak, and then you got PlayStation Pro and Concord.
Yeah,
on the other side.
Sony's got a lot of negatives, and so it does come out at a great time to be a big positive for them.
Yes, it's a big positive for them. It's a horrible thing if you're an executive because you spend so much resources towards two very large projects, which they're not on the pulse of modern gaming at all, right? And then you have a small project that was maybe, I think, around 60 devs, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a couple year turnaround time, a lot better than all other modern gaming like timelines we've seen. And it gets like 9.5s and 10 out of 10s.
No, I know, absolutely. And it sells, right?
And it sells. I don't know how much, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's selling like...
Yeah, Sony doesn't release those numbers, which is very unfortunate. We'll see it in their sales quarter whenever they finally release that. But
yes. It'll be, I'm obviously not expecting like a landslide, but to me, I feel very vindicated being, or like justified, because I'm like, games should be games, or there should be a lot more games that focus on being a game.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this quite a bit, is that we prefer games that are, games over movies.
Yes.
There are plenty of really good movies out there that we have played. That being said, we don't like all of our games to be movies. I don't like paying $60 for a 5-hour experience. That being said, a game that's fun and replayable and, $30, whatever, right? I think that's great. I think it's a great direction for the game industry.
You think they should make more of that at Sony?
I do. I think regardless of if I enjoy the style of the game, I think it's good for gamers.
You don't like the art style?
I actually really adore the art style from what I saw. I think it looks great. It's a very cute blend of a lot of things I do like.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of Little Big Planet.
Yes, I listened to the soundtrack too, and it's got like a thump to it, and I enjoy that. So yeah, I mean, and Little Big Planet, I think, is a very
yeah, and
apt comparison.
Just in my personal opinion, as I was watching gameplay, I don't own a PS5, so I can't. I would buy it if I had a PS5. I would definitely buy it. But I watched like 70-80% of the game. And I would say it's definitely like awesome, amazing game, but doesn't have, there's a little something, a little edge that I think, you see a lot of 9.5s more than 10s, I would say.
Yep.
Because I feel like it's not like that 10, like groundbreaking. And what I mean, groundbreaking in mechanics and flow.
Yeah, it's not new. And then I saw as well that they reuse mechanics later, which nothing wrong with that, right? It's a small team. I think they did a great job. But I do agree. It's not a perfect 10 out of 10. As far as like platformers go, I think Mario Galaxy is a 10 out of 10 when it comes to the genre.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I don't think the game necessarily has anything that it did wrong, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that make a game a 10 out of 10 though?
No. I think that extra 10 generally comes from doing something innovative.
Yeah, it really depends on the culture at the time. If it's super, if innovation sometimes means how it does in culture, or how it does technology wise, or sometimes even graphically, that might cause some reviewers to give it a 10, that sort of deal. And Astrobot is an amazing game.
Yeah.
Can't recommend it enough if you have a PS5. And I honestly, all right, here's the deal. I think Astrobot should just be their new mascot.
I think so too. It's really cute, and you could definitely see it on like your Sony home screen.
Yep.
Even if it's customizable, right? Kind of like the Mii's used to be and such.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, PlayStation and Xbox haven't really gone towards mascots. Really?
Yeah, Xbox lets you design like a character that would always pop up.
I mean, I'm not talking about avatars. I'm just talking about characters that they have. That's like kind of like the face of the company.
Yeah.
I think if they made a couple more Astrobot games, put them in a lot more cameos and other projects, I think he could very quickly rise to be like, oh, it's a PlayStation guy.
Yeah, I could easily see that. And it's not a new IP. Astro has been a character for them.
Yeah, Astro's Playroom was the box, the in-box demo, which really, and what I really wish I could experience the game for is the main gimmick of the game is how it uses the HD rumble.
Yep.
So
the really cool part about owning a PS5, the controller.
I guess. I mean, I don't think there's any point in owning a PS5.
No,
still.
but like the controller is really cool.
Yeah, I personally think the Xbox One controller is the definitive controller.
I have held a PS5 controller and I've held an Xbox One controller, and I own 2 Xbox One controllers. So
yeah.
I love the rumble in the PS5 controller, but I've always had the same problem with it, and their controllers are just too small. And they tried to fix it with the PS5 controller, and it's still just a little too small. Anyway,
well, you got massive man hands.
I feel like my hands are average, and so I think they're just small.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, small controllers. I mean, I've played with Joy-Con, so everything is like fine to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of like the PlayStation 4, like DualShocks. Like that was small. I felt like I was crab handing that thing.
Well, a part of that is because of where you have to place your thumbs.
Yeah.
I think the parallel thumb stick, I don't think that comes naturally. I think you need one up higher or in a different spot. Maybe that's just how I've been conditioned at this point.
Yeah.
But generally, that's where I lie.
If you have a favorite controller, put it in the comments.
I swear, if I see a single left Joy-Con comment, you're banned. You're done. You're out.
What did you think of like the N64 controller?
Horrible.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Horrible. I don't. Did you think I would have a different opinion on that?
I don't know. I'm a big N64 game fan.
Yeah.
But I don't like the controller.
No, I mean, I mean, you got to show a little grace because no one did 3D gaming before that.
That's true.
But every single company did not make the N64 controller after it came out. They realized very quick that is not the way. Not the way. Not the way.
Yeah.
But that was a really big high for PlayStation.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think, and maybe this is like a little doomer of me, I honestly don't think that it'll sell well enough for PlayStation executives to really give a crap.
Yeah, I don't know. It might, right? So if they put like Astrobot on the homepage and they make it cute and it sells, then that'd be great, right? But if they don't and they just kind of let it ride sort of a background hype, it won't sell well.
Yeah, I mean, because in the past in history, you see executives kind of take the wrong like lesson from a lot of successes and a lot of failures. I'm trying to think of an example right now, but it's like
Concord.
Well, yes, Concord, but I mean, we don't know what lesson they're going to take from that yet.
Yeah.
But I know there have been games, or like, there's a sequel that comes out for a series people like everyone wants and everyone loves that series, and then a sequel comes out after a long time, and then it's not like the original game, and people don't like it, and then the executives are like, well, I guess they don't want the series anymore then.
Yeah.
And that's super frustrating.
I hear that. I think at least as far as like Astrobot goes, I think that they'll let it ride. I would hope so, right? And then I think the lesson they should learn from it is instead of putting 200 some odd devs on a game that's going to take 8 to 10 years to produce, right?
Yep.
Why don't you make 3 games that are smaller, that are cheaper, that you can sell more of, and on a 3-year timeline, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a balance.
Yeah, I'm not asking for slop, right? I do think there is room for massive games. GTA 6, I'm really hoping it's going to be great. There's literally 300 devs working, since 2015?
Yeah, I mean, but it's thinking about that process is a little like, you can't just say, oh, it's 8 years for this product. It was like, the product changes and gets scrapped and all that.
Yeah,
so it's hard
I understand the process.
To think about that.
The process is big, right? Like a 3-year game can be good, same quality, if not better than a 10-year game, simply because of the development process.
Yeah, I mean, Metroid Prime 4, literally, like the example off the top of my head, like it got announced in 2017, or I guess technically at the end of 2016, and it was like, hey, it's coming out on the Switch. 4 years later, hey, development scrapped, and now we're finally having a gameplay trailer. But it's like a lot of dev time, but a lot of that's wasted.
Yeah, a lot of it was restart.
I think I am totally fine with companies, and the reason I'm really fine with it is because it's gonna keep the companies profitable.
Yeah,
is the graphical rat race. I personally hate it, but you need for a AAA. Sony and Microsoft still need to pump those out.
Yeah,
to keep their because there's a large market for that who really cares about that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
But there should be resources towards the smaller games, and I feel like Sony hasn't done that for the entirety of the PS5 library, or the lack of the library, because
the PS5 library is the problem, right? Because they did that with PS4. They reached out to third-party people and they said, hey, we'll put money into your project if you make it a PlayStation exclusive. And sometimes they didn't even just say it has to be exclusive. It's just exclusive for a year or something like that. Like, I don't know if they're afraid to put out money, or if they're afraid, or if they don't want smaller companies to gain traction. But they just haven't been doing it. And that's sad to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going all in on their Sony studios, which, I hope that they change now that they see how this generation has gone so far.
Well, you know what's crazy is that their goal at the start of this year was to have 15 live service games by the end of the year.
They specifically live service.
Yes, live service.
I hate that.
You know how many they have?
-1.
Well, they have one. They have Helldivers too.
Okay.
Yep. Concord was
But
supposed to be the
that's
second.
cross-platform though.
Well, yeah, it's cross-platform, but it's hosted by the Sony network.
Yes, that's true.
Which is what they wanted.
Yes.
Because Sony still gets a cut of all the actual live service part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And going along with all of this actually is the dev comment I mentioned earlier that it was an executive saying, or a Sony executive saying, we just don't have the IP to make games. Which is an insane thing to say. He said it after Concord flopped. It's like, what's going on with Sony? Why are you doing all this? And the executive's like, we just don't have any IP to use. We don't have any IP to use. Astrobot comes out 180 cameos, like you said, not Sony. But I did look at, and I was looking at what series they haven't used in a very long time. Some I have been playing recently. But just like, listen to this.
Yeah, here, lay it on me.
Yeah. So in terms of original IP, you have, all right, games that haven't been made in a super long time. First of all, Ape Escape. I don't know if you played Ape Escape.
I've never played Ape Escape.
More of a cult classic game, but all right. And all these games kind of ramped up to this generation, I think would sell really well.
Okay.
Personally.
Yep.
Or at least it would make profit.
Yeah.
Like comparatively to what the dev time it would take to put in there. So you have what I just say, Ape Escape, Gravity Rush.
Yeah,
people loved that game. Where's the sequel? Where's anything?
Yeah.
Infamous.
Oh, Infamous would be great.
Jack and Daxter. I've been playing through the Jack and Daxter series actually recently.
When was that last game that came out?
It was so there's Jack 1, 2, and 3, and then there's the Jack racing game, and a PSP game just called Daxter.
Okay.
I believe I'm not an expert on the Jack and Daxter series. I believe that's the series.
Yep. I wanted to say like the last game was like, it feels like 2012, but I could be wrong.
2009.
Jeez, that was the last one.
Yeah, the last one was 2009. They could pull from Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, there were tons of people who were like fawning over the Jack and Daxter, like Astrobot. The Jack would like fall down, and then the Daxter won't do like the little shake thing like he does in the game. Killzone, Knack, like a ton of like PSP games like Loco Roco, I think it's called. Yeah. Sly Cooper. Like
I never played that one.
I played I played Sly Cooper too. But those are awesome recognizable characters that they could totally make even like remasters of. And same with all these. You can make remasters, of all these games. It would make a profit comparative to what you'd have to put in, unless they're going for like, I don't think you need to give Sly Cooper realistic fur.
No, you don't.
You just need to, Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal would be so good. Metal. They made a freaking TV show and they still have no plans for a game.
I'm very surprised at that.
That they didn't make a game announcement. Like, yeah.
What's going on?
I know.
I know you don't like the idea of an Uncharted sequel, but I think an Uncharted reboot would do well.
I think it would do well. That would just feel like a cash grab in my mind.
Yeah,
but
I feel otherwise. I think it'd be great. If it's the same people working on it, but I doubt they would.
I would love to see just Uncharted just with someone different than Nathan Drake. I don't know, or even, well, they did a spinoff with his daughter, which I would be like, continue that, whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to see the story continued, and I don't want to see it broken down in a reboot. That's the only thing I have.
Yeah, but I mean, the baseline is Sony has all these wells they can pull from. And honestly, Xbox and Nintendo do too. They all have wells that they can pull from that they just choose not to for one reason or another. Yep. But to say that there's no IP to stand on,
I know.
It pisses me off. So much.
It's like when the Halo Infinite devs came out and just said that Halo doesn't have the fan base it used to. It's like, what do you mean? Whose
fault is that? Would be my question.
Exactly. You come out with a Halo TV show that sucks, and then you come out with Halo Infinite and make all these promises, and you're finally delivering on it, what, 3 years later?
Yep.
And your player base is already gone.
And here's the deal. When it comes to corporate statements, they mean like Jack, because it's literally just a public facing, like, it's not my fault.
That's the problem though. Why can't they take criticism and say, hey, we made a mistake. Give us some time. We'll fix it.
Because they would get fired.
That'd be
That's just how the industry is.
That's the problem with corporate, though, right? Is like
it's a general corporate problem.
Yeah, it's a general corporate problem because no one's willing to take responsibility because they don't want to be the fall guy. But no one wants to see the guy who takes responsibility fired. They want to see him come back and do better.
But I mean, second chances are a rare thing now.
In the corporate world, gamers give second chances all the time. Look at EA. They're still a company because of their 8th, 9th, and 10th chances.
I don't know if you would call those chances. I think that's like just that's just them being a shady business. I don't know. It's like I don't think they're really reflecting on their actions.
No, I don't think they're reflecting, but
gamers. I mean, people like sports.
Gamers,
it's just people like sports.
Well, it's not even their sports games. I don't care about the sports games. Whatever. They're always going to sell.
Then
right?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about every other game they had. Battlefront, Battlefront 2. Name an EA game. I can.
Anthem.
Yeah. Anthem. Yes.
I mean, I think they're paying for it. I see a lot of people like, it started mid 2010s and now most people I would say are not really giving EA the time.
Yeah. I don't know, but Sony is just crazy right now. You saw they dropped their PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yes.
$700.
Finishing our roller coaster ride on a low point.
$700.
No disk drive, by the way.
No disk drive.
No disk drive.
And it's just a slightly upgraded GPU, right?
Yeah.
And 8K. What console game runs 8K?
Well, using their AI-driven upscaling, any game could be 8K now.
Any game is not 8K. No. NVIDIA got slapped so hard when they initially released the upscaling because it was bad. They finally perfected it, and it's not their processor inside of this PlayStation. It's not going to be true 8K or even feel like true 8K.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't even think of a world where I own an 8K TV, or let alone have a $700.
I know, and they said that this is the gamer's console, is what they said. And it's like, if I'm a gamer, I'm just gonna buy a PC. Like, you're not catering to the right audience here.
Well, I mean, console is a little different than PC.
No, I know it's different, right? But they are trying to market it to it's the gamer's console. Which feels weird considering.
So really, it should have like RGB lighting and all, if they're really trying to.
I will say the design pretty sleek. It's got like black accents on it. I kind of dig it.
I mean, the product design and UI has always been one of Sony's strong suits.
I know it looks so much better than the mini fridge that Xbox came out with.
Yes, I agree.
But Xbox did capitalize and actually sell a mini fridge.
Yeah,
that looked like the Xbox.
And it was pretty fun. It was a 4-canner, so it wasn't like the best,
it wasn't great, but it's still.
Why are we talking about mini fridge?
Sorry, design.
Yes, but I am trying to wonder, like, why.
I know
why. When did the PS5 come out? 2020? 21?
Something like that.
I guess it's been long enough. I guess this is the right time to do a Pro. I didn't see enough of a list to really think it's worth the Pro title.
No, it doesn't feel like it, right?
And honestly, they should have the disk drive. It's the one model. It's no disk drive. It's digital only. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive.
It is 2 terabyte hard drive, but all it's gonna do is what? Frickin' COD's gonna come out with a new version that's 800 gigs instead. And
I'm trying to take. Hold on, we should bet right now. What's the final gigabyte count for Black Ops 6?
620.
You're insane. You're insane. No way. Maybe.
What was Cold War? Cold War was.
No research.
Oh,
no research.
I swear.
I don't know.
I swear I remember Cold War being somewhere around 200, but I could be wrong.
I think. Here's my guess. I'll say my guess.
Yeah.
First, and then I'll let you cheat and base it off my.
Okay.
Whatever. 270 is my guess.
I was about to say 315.
I'm talking about base. I'm not talking about whatever DLCs they come out with.
I'm almost thinking is going to be over 300 combined, right? They might do the thing where you can download just COD and then split and just get zombies.
Yes.
Because that would make sense.
Yeah. Oh,
but then they're not going to combine assets because it's COD and they're lazy.
Well,
now I'm going to look up what Cold War was.
All right. Here's the deal. I think it makes the game feel bigger than it is, and I think that's a part of not marketing, but like some implicit messaging that they're working on. But I actually did play the Black Ops 6 beta. You look like you saw something.
When you download the Cold War and Modern Warfare Duo on their platform, it's 390 gigabytes.
I think that's it's two different games. They're not sharing assets, right? Cold War and Modern Warfare?
Yeah, they share quite a few assets, and your textures should still be able to combine.
And it's still 390.
And it's still 390.
I might be screwed.
I mean, that is the bundle on the platform. Cold War clocked in at just under 150 gigs.
Okay, so then what would you say?
I'm still thinking it might be 315. If I'm thinking Cold War plus zombies, if they're unoptimized, will be over 300.
Okay, so I'm saying 270. You're saying 315.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
And I'm going to say that's download size, not necessarily final file size, right?
Okay.
They might make you download that much and then it'll compress. Or it might be vice versa. You might only download 125.
So which number are we counting?
Both. Let's just do an aggregate and see, fine. What's closest.
I'm cool with that. I played the Black Ops 6 beta.
Yeah.
And I had a great time.
Did you like the Omni movement?
I did. It was it reminded me of like a time before really like movement shooters, which is funny since it's a movement system.
Yeah.
But I thought about it because people were just flying out windows shooting me and stuff. And I'm like, that's funny. That's like Black Ops 2 dolphin dive.
I know.
Off of a ledge. Kind of funny.
Did you see grenades and stuff have Omni movement too?
Yeah, I wasn't able to really figure that out. I was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to say historically, I'm pretty bad at COD games, but I like them.
Yeah.
I like playing them.
The crazy part is the bounces are sort of predictable now because your character throws a grenade with a certain spin on it.
Yeah.
And depending where it lands in the spin, it will bounce a certain direction.
I had a lot of fun. I wasn't able to play it too much just because of personal time and whatever.
Yeah.
But I will say the maps felt very small. More like a lot smaller than I thought they'd be.
I feel like COD maps have always felt small.
But this was like super small, and in a game with that kind of movement, there was many times where, I would spawn, instantly get killed. I haven't been in the modern COD scene, so if that's like just people have accepted it now, good for you guys. I think it's dumb.
I think it's dumb. I don't remember that in Cold War, but the maps also felt big in Cold War.
It's like you would spawn and then boom, you're done. You're gone.
I mean, we'll see.
It's a beta.
Right? Yeah, it's beta.
Super small maps. I think I honestly think they didn't want to use the small maps.
Were they 10 players or?
Yeah, it was 10 players on super small.
And you were still dying instantly.
Yes, they're really small maps.
Okay.
Really small, but I loved going around with the shotgun. I enjoyed the sniper this time because I've gotten a little better at shooters since Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
But just running around with the shotgun, landing funny syntax kills or syntax kills, all that stuff. It was just a good time. It felt like I was playing COD back in the day.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
And so I'm probably gonna buy it.
Okay.
There it is. I'm probably gonna buy it.
Okay.
The zombies I'm not too hopeful on. I'm probably gonna buy it.
I'm still hopeful for zombies, but
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be exactly what I want or have the staying power that Black Ops 3 Zombie has.
Yeah.
I still go back and play Black Ops 3 Zombies.
But
it'll be fun.
I mean, that's very exciting.
Black Ops 4 Zombies was fun because it had not just a standard mode, but it had a gauntlet. Gauntlet's underrated.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 30 rounds. I guess I should explain it. Gauntlet is 30 rounds, and each has a different like challenge on it.
Oh, okay.
And then, so it'd be like
it's like going through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
There we go.
And it gets pretty hard, and it's like by the end of it's 30 rounds. So
yeah.
By the like 25th round, it's like these are crazy hard challenges, which is awesome because I like the difficulty. The difficulty is what made it fun. That's what made the old zombies fun. That's what made Gauntlet fun. Black Ops 6 Zombies does not look like it's gonna have difficulty. You have a lot of health. You can have armor in addition to Juggernog. Blah blah blah. it looks like not my thing, but I'll still have fun.
How was the music?
Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
I thought.
I guess zombies is where the music usually comes in, but
I don't in Black. I mean, I can say I like all the music from Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Black Ops 6 music. I found the menu music to be very obnoxious. I turned it down to 20 right away. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's the Modern Warfare. Like I'm used to the subtle, like like either ambience or the zombies theme. Like
I did see one other thing that was very interesting to me. Zombies and the normal game don't have different UIs.
Yeah.
Which feels really odd.
Yeah, it'll depend. I really liked.
Zombies should look different, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Especially since they've had how many years developing this game and they couldn't get a designer for the UI?
Well, maybe not they were trying to get one, but they just decided not to.
The decision is what's odd to me.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Yeah. I really liked how the UI changed per map.
Yeah.
The last ones. I'm not expecting that out of this one. My bar's still pretty low, let me tell you, but I'm intrigued enough where I will buy it.
Yeah. I feel
even at $70 now.
That, oh gosh. It just feels like so much money.
It's okay. When the jump to 60 happened, that felt like a lot of money. I don't advocate for the 70 jump. Let me be clear. I don't advocate for it. I think it's pretty. I don't think there's been enough improvement.
No, I don't think there has either. I think, your game should be worth $70 if I'm going to pay $70.
Yes.
That's just me. I mean, I hold to a game should give me $1 an hour.
Yeah. And how's that gone so far?
Most games I purchase, I get that out of it.
Good for you.
That's generally like my rule of thumb.
That's including sales though for you, I'm sure. Like
yeah. That's generally my rule of thumb when I buy a game.
Yeah.
So if I bought COD at $70, I would hope to put 70 hours into it, and I just don't know that I will on this one yet.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to pre-order, I think. I'll just wait. Probably till launch day. Or
maybe they'll have
after.
a launch sale. Who knows? Be so.
I'm glad they took it off the Blizzard launcher, though.
And
it's on Steam again.
That is very nice.
I like that.
I don't like the Blizzard launcher.
Me neither.
Frankly, I don't like any other launcher than Steam.
I know. I feel like that's our bias speaking, though. Well, it is.
I have every other launcher on my computer for other games, and I hate opening every single one.
Yeah. I will say, I always open up the Epic one. Get the free games.
Get the free games. They've been so bad recently.
Fallout 1 and 2 was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I already owned it, though. I guess that's the problem.
Oh, that's too bad.
And I don't necessarily like having it on Epic. I like having it in my Steam library.
You can just set up the EXE to be
I know, but it doesn't
a minute or two.
It doesn't track your achievements and whatever.
That's okay.
I like my completionist stuff.
Mm-hmm. You like it all in the same spot, which I can't be too judgmental on, since I'm kind of similar, but I take a lot of liberties.
I like when people can look at my profile and say, "Oh, you have this many hours. You've 100%ed this game. That's really cool."
Do people do that?
Yeah.
With your profile?
Yeah.
I've never looked at another person's profile.
That's crazy. I like to see what other people play.
Like private some games then.
I may or may not have looked up a coworker's Steam profile to see what type of person they were.
And what did that tell you about them?
A lot of really good things, that they had very similar interests.
Well, hold on, no. Tell the whole story.
Well, I was, talking about what games I've been playing before, and they so happened, I had brought up, like, their kid walked in or something and was talking about they were playing Rainbow Six Siege. And then she mentioned his gamer tag, and she then said that hers was really stupid, and then she said what hers was, so I looked it up, and it's not stalker at all. And we were in the same call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And regardless, right? There's a level of community when you're talking to someone who has very similar interests to yourself. And so she played War Thunder, she played Siege, she played a number of strategy games that I've played. And I don't know, it was kind of interesting, kind of cool.
And what it told you was
she had very similar interests to myself.
She was similar to me.
Yes.
Okay, did it feel like that matched?
Yeah.
how you worked with her and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think you can tell a lot about a person by the type of games they like.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I randomly sat with a new person at lunch today at work, and my classic question is what I asked everyone is, what do you do? And however they answer that, it tells me, because I don't like, people are like, oh, do you mean work? And I'm like, just answer the question.
Yeah.
And so most times people say work, but I really love it when people don't say work and they either say, oh, I'm a husband, or oh, like I play video games, or I do photography,
Yeah.
I do knitting, or I make minis and stuff like that. Like that stuff I love. I love it when people talk about their hobbies. But I don't push them in, because you don't want to make them uncomfortable. But all this to tee up. Anyway, a random person sat with me, is what I should say. And I asked him that, and he immediately went to Elden Ring. His first thing is, oh, I've been playing Elden Ring. in the workplace environment.
That's so good. Like, I'm so happy that these things are getting mainstream.
I know it's now granted, I wasn't surprised when he said it. I guess I was more just like, wow, that's like you launched right into that. That's awesome. I don't know if that says more about how I appear or how, but typically I hide my power level a little bit. Typically I'm like, oh, I play games, I watch some animes, and if they're like that, I'm like, well, what do you play? You bust out the hand sanitizer and you start rubbing, and you're like, so, and then if they say sports games, you're like, all right. If they say like 2K or Madden, you're like, all right. If they say like Jack 3, you're like, okay, interesting. Tell me more. It's like, yeah, I play Professor Layton on the 3DS. I'm like, oh, okay. Who are you? But they just jumped right into Elden Ring.
I had someone tell me once that they played Slime Rancher.
Was it a girl?
No, it was some dude at college.
All right, sorry. I feel like that's more of a girl.
I know.
Game.
It was some dude at college. He goes, I've been playing a lot of Slime Rancher.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's nice. I mean, most girls I ask would say like Stardew Valley is the one I get the most. Actually,
The Sims.
The Sims too.
Yeah.
Yep, that's another one. Just those two are kind of like the
pretty big.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun to get a little quick pulse on someone.
Yeah,
that's cool. You know what was not a quick pulse? An entire year.
Yep.
Like the year 2008.
We love these transitions. Can't get enough of them.
I know. 2008, I did a little bit of research. I don't know what won.
Yep.
From any organization yet.
Yep.
2008 was crazy.
It was.
It was crazy.
It was.
And I was looking at, where we're kind of at in like gaming history right now.
Yep.
And the Wii's in full force. The Xbox 360's in full force. The PSP and the Nintendo DS are both in full force. Nintendo DS is a lot more of a powerhouse sales wise. But the PSP still has some awesome games come out.
I know.
I don't recall if the PS3 was out by this point.
Yes, it was.
It was sweet.
It was
2007.
End of 2007.
Yes. So we're right at the PS3 launch.
Yep. Which, yes, flagship game of freaking 2008, Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yes.
Came out freaking huge. I don't know if you recall. I was young, but seeing the media attention that it got, like,
it got a lot.
This game is causing your kids to kill people.
I mean, it was the big, the games were starting to look like reality. Well, you look back now, you're like, that doesn't look anything like how reality looks. But back then, it's like they started to look like people, not block.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah, you had Grand Theft Auto 4. You had Fallout 3. Phenomenal game. Only slightly outshone by Fallout New Vegas. Metal Gear Solid 4, Burnout Paradise. Goodness, you're going to recognize every single one of these. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Dead Space, Mario Kart Wii, Left 4 Dead, phenomenal game. Gears of War 2, Fable 2, Persona 4.
Persona 3 FES as well.
Little Big Planet, Call of Duty World at War, which, great game.
Start of Zombies.
Yes, Far Cry 2.
Mirror's Edge.
Devil May Cry 4. Yes, Mirror's Edge, the first one, which is so weird to me.
I can't believe that's a 2008 game.
I don't know, man.
It's wild.
Like, I know it was remastered and whatnot, but holy cow.
Yep.
Spider-Man Web of Shadows,
Prince of Persia,
Lego Batman,
and Indiana Jones,
Star Wars: The Force Unleashed,
Sonic Unleashed,
Valkyria Chronicles, which I don't know if you've played that.
Yeah, so that game that's another cult classic.
It is a cult classic that I actually played.
It's pretty good.
It is.
It's pretty good.
Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
It
wasn't a great game, but it was kind of cool.
I hear that and I hear jank.
It was kind of cool, if I remember correctly. Yes. But Saints Row 2, Tomb Raider Underworld,
Prince of Persia.
Yep. Another World of Warcraft expansion.
Yep. Lich King, I believe, in 2008.
No. Wrath of... Oh, yeah, you're right. Wrath of the Lich King. My bad.
Sweet.
You're right. Yep. Sonic Unleashed.
Yep.
Animal Crossing City Folk.
All right. But you also had... I'm not hearing there's a couple indie games games besides AAA. You had Braid.
Yes.
Which how much do you know about Braid?
I have not played it, but I understand the IP a little bit.
Play Braid. Very fast game.
Okay.
But it's a good game. Play Braid.
Noted.
It's a game with a twist, is what I'll say.
Spore.
Yep, Spore and Castle Crashers.
Castle Crashers came out in 2008?
From Behemoth.
Oh my goodness.
So I believe this was after Alien Hominid for them and before Battle Block.
That's crazy. That's such a solid lineup. And mind you, a lot of these games, like I think 2008 PlayStation 3 era is when games start holding up.
It depends. It really depends on the game.
I know it really depends on it.
There's a couple. I don't know what you mean by holding up, though. You're going to need to unpack that a bit more for me.
I guess, where we've talked about how earlier games don't look as good nowadays on modern televisions because they were designed for older TVs.
Yes.
We're getting into games that are graphically to a standard that holds up through advancing technology, if that makes sense. So whereas your N64 games and before, like N64 is probably the start of that, some of those games hold up. Everything
I would disagree personally.
I feel like some do.
Star Fox 64 looks pretty good because there's not much going on.
Games, definitely games there and before do not hold up going forward because they need to be played on the proper refresh rate with the proper screen ratios.
I mean, a lot of Super Nintendo games. I mean, again, it means define like holding up.
It does not play as well on a new screen as it does on an old one. It does not hold up
without adjustments.
Without adjustments, it does not hold up to advancing technology.
Mm-hmm.
I think this PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era is when finally you could pick up a PlayStation 3 and an Xbox 360 and plug it into your current television set.
Yes, it was built for HDMI.
Yep.
It was built for 1080. Well, it's really 720p.
It really is, but
it's not HD.
It will play 1080.
Yes.
And it will not look janky at 1080.
Did it have DVD player?
Yes.
But not Blu-ray.
Not Blu-ray.
Blu-ray was the next gen.
I think PlayStation 3 at the end might have had Blu-ray compatibility, but it definitely did not at launch.
Yeah. Well, all right. What one?
Yeah. So the BAFTAs.
I'm so interested to know what actually won.
So this is the crazy part. Okay. The BAFTAs, the British people. I don't know what's wrong with you Brits, but you get your games late.
Well, yeah.
Because that's
more of a victim.
They picked BioShock because it finally came out for them.
Okay.
Which, good for you.
Good for you.
That's a great choice. I don't think BioShock beats some of these games, but you might not have had it. So we
don't know.
DICE, however, chose Little Big Planet out of all of those games.
I know, I didn't know. They chose Little Big Planet.
They chose Little Big Planet.
That is insane to me. I feel like, it
was a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong. I played it.
To me, I would not expect them to choose that. I think is a worthy of it. We'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's up there. I would think that, DICE wouldn't even think twice about Little Big Planet, let alone choose it among that lineup.
Yeah, I'm not. So what I'm reading here is that it was chosen for the innovative level editor.
It was big.
It
was super big. It was I mean, you have Mario Maker now, but it was kind of, I don't know what other games are like Mario Maker, but it's like the first of that type of game, and it was like it was a lot more mainstream than I think even Sony expected it to be.
Yeah, I think it was, especially since it's had so many spinoffs since then too. Like I get it, and
Ooh, I don't know if there was a Sackboy Astrobot.
I don't know there was, but I mean, just looking at some of the pictures from it, right? It genuinely feels like it holds up. Oh my goodness, all these devs look like they're straight out of the early 2000s.
Yep, there it is.
Sorry, that's a side tangent. You guys can't see that, but I think it holds up in a way that a lot of other ones don't. It was built in a style, and I know they remade it for PS4, so there's a bit of a like a tinted glasses because I played on PS4.
Okay.
So there's like I know what it looked like in PlayStation 3, but most of my memories are from the remaster on PlayStation 4. So there is that. I don't know that it deserves Game of the Year.
Okay, then let's. Honestly, I'm kind of happy DICE chose that, just because not really because I think it's Game of the Year, but more of like, wow, they chose a game.
Yeah, they chose a game.
That was like more about creativity.
Yeah, I mean,
than at the time it was about being gritty and as real as you could get.
Okay, so let's put out the ones that we think are strong contenders here.
Yep, I got a note.
I think Left 4 Dead is a strong contender
for Game of the Year.
Yes,
I think no shot.
I think Grand Theft Auto 4.
Well, yeah,
it was not going to be picked that year, but hindsight, right? Is it worth Game of the Year?
I like it a lot. I'll tell you that.
I do too. I think that's where Grand Theft Auto 4 being sort of taboo and new was against it for winning Game of the Year.
Yes. Also, Soul Calibur 4 and Metal Gear Solid 4 came out this year as well.
Gears of War 2.
You said that.
I know, but that one, I'm just saying, that is really good.
Dude, this is so tough for me. And Street Fighter 4. A lot of 4s.
Yeah.
In 2008. GTA 4, Persona 4, Soul Calibur 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
Street Fighter 4. A lot of 4s in 8.
Command and Conquer, Red Alert 3.
Yeah.
Battlefield Bad Company came out.
I did see that. I didn't think it was worth mentioning. Do you have say your contenders, because my brain is still I'm racking.
I'm on Grand Theft Auto 4. I don't think Fallout 3, but I think it should have been nominated if it wasn't. I think Left 4 Dead. I might have some tinted glasses when I think of Dead Space. I don't remember. Not Gears of War.
Okay. I don't think you said this yet.
Okay.
Pokemon Platinum came out.
That's right. Pokemon Platinum did come out.
That is an amazing Pokemon game. Now, I think Diamond and Pearl comparatively suck compared to Platinum, but that's what, because you got your medium for $2.50 and your large for $3. You want to take the large, so Platinum is the large. Yep. It's like it took what Diamond and Pearl did and it made like almost everything insanely better. Yeah. And it's an amazing Pokemon game. It's up there for me personally. I'm just gonna say it. It's up there.
I think I just have to go with Grand Theft Auto 4. I think it's been snubbed that year because it was new and against the grain in a way that I don't think they could choose it. I feel like I'm not reaching here. No, you're not.
Yeah. That's a perfectly fine choice to make.
Yeah.
I think you're definitely wrong.
Okay.
I think all right, my personal favorite out of this list, I can't even choose that. I can't even choose my personal favorite out of the list. I love Street Fighter 4. Save Street Fighter. Hands down. Save Street Fighter. I love Castle Crashers. I love Lego games. I love Pokemon Platinum. I love Persona 4 and Persona 3.
Lego Indiana Jones is so good.
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely the age that we grew up playing Lego games.
These games were like it for me.
Yes, exactly. So they're nowhere close to Game of the Year. But,
no, I know. It's like Castle Crashers was the thing.
For a hack and slash, it's probably it's almost more of a beat 'em up. It is a beat 'em up.
It is a beat 'em up.
It's the best beat 'em up since Streets of Rage 2. For sure. If you look at like greatest like beat 'em ups, it's really, you got Streets of Rage 2, nothing, Castle Crashers.
I know.
I would say maybe River City Girls. which is
I have
the
not
more of
played
a
that.
more of
No
a deep
idea
cut.
what that- Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Street Race 4 actually
Mhm.
might be the next best one on the timeline at least.
I
But Castle
think-
Crashers is so good.
It is. It's so good. That in my mind is a game, almost a 10 out of 10 game.
Yes. It's getting a remaster. I don't
Is
know.
it?
It's or a re-release, you know,
on the
something like
new console system.
Um,
Interesting. I'd be down to play it. I think it's a party game.
maybe we play together.
We do. It's up to 4-player, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
that would be.
Let us know if you want us to play that and record it. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
More of a gameplay video.
All
All right, here's the deal. Here's the
Okay,
deal.
well,
I'll break it down.
What are you picking?
Here's my top
Uh-huh.
here's my top 4.
Yeah.
I'll get down to 4.
Okay.
Mario Kart Wii,
It's really good.
Fallout 3,
Yep.
Pokemon Platinum,
Okay.
Castle Crashers.
Okay.
I think
And I'm happy if you pick your game of the year, right? Just know that
it's Mario Kart Wii.
Okay.
In hindsight,
Mario
that
Kart
got-
Wii,
that made Mario Kart.
I know. Mario Kart Wii, I think, is a strong contender for legitimately game of the year for
Yes.
that year.
Okay, saying legitimately
Well,
after my
other
games. Okay, I get it.
The other 3 you picked, I'm
Are
like,
good games.
they're great games.
Not
I don't
game of the
think they were your game of the year.
Yes, I understand.
But
You're
that being
still
said,
wrong, but
I think Mario Kart is such a great pick as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would be totally torn, but I have to say Grand Theft Auto 4. But regardless, I think DICE got it wrong.
Unfortunately, I'm not mad at.
No, I'm not.
I would
mad
never
at,
be mad.
I'm not mad at that pick, right?
No.
It was.
I'm pretty happy
It,
personally because of my agenda. But but do I think it was actually the right choice? No,
no, I
not
don't
at
think it
all.
was.
Not at all.
I think Little Big Planet is a great game. I think that it was new for the time, and I think that it set a precedent that, you know, people like when other users create the game, right? That being said, I don't think the game was all that.
Really,
I don't think it was game of the year all that.
really.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it was game of the year material,
material,
sure.
But
there's a lot of game.
yes,
And 2008 was such an awesome time.
I know, right?
Every studio was pumping. Like you just heard the list. Every
Mhm.
studio pumped out at least 10.
I know.
Except, I mean, Xbox I think was right around.
Yep.
But every studio pumped out tons of games.
I know.
Games and, you know, Rat Race graphical movie games, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep extending that title as one. But it's kind of crazy. I wish we had a year like that now.
I know, right?
I wish we had a year like that now. And now a lot of that supply now comes from indie games.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice to see.
Which I'm okay with, by the way.
Yes.
Having a whole supply of fun games that do not cost $60, I think is great.
Yes.
Anything that sticks it to the big studios at this point, I'm happy
Is it
about.
sticking it to the big studios though? That's the thing.
I
don't see it as a rebellion
I don't either, but I like knowing that an exec somewhere is like, why didn't we do that?
That's okay, but that's for anything.
No,
That's not
I
just
know.
indie
I
games.
guess I'm just PO'd.
Do you
at
really
Microsoft.
think that? All right, how big of a slice do you think indie games actually took out of the console AAA market?
Console is so marginal. Console is so marginal. When it comes to PC, I think indie games have a stronger hold on it.
Okay.
And I think, okay, I take it back. If you take out sports games, I think it's a lot bigger than you think. Like take out the Maddens, take out the 2Ks
of profits or or volume of games or what are you talking
volume of games sold.
I can see that.
Like,
but why would you take out sports games? That's still a big part of
because sports games is kind of cheating because since Madden existed, it has been the highest seller in the US every single year, save for the Outliers.
Yeah, but that's still, you know,
but it's the same game. Nothing has changed.
Listen, I'm not a Madden fan.
It's cheating.
It's cheating.
I have a friend who buys the new Madden game every single year at full price, plus whatever extras they come out with, just so the player cards are updated.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really bash them too much though. If there was a Monster Hunter game coming out every year, I'd play it. When Pokemon was coming out every year, I played it.
Pokemon was adding things.
Technically.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it was just new Pokemon.
But it also wasn't $65.
It was 40 for a handheld game.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, it's like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's a sense of superiority going on.
I don't know.
Which I am. All right.
I wouldn't buy a sequel.
I'm with you.
Unless it gave me something new.
I'm with you. Let me. We can't ignore the sports gaming market. You can't ignore it.
But the FIFAs and the Maddens just sell ridiculous amount. FIFA is the #1 game sold in Europe
because there's a lot of people.
Madden is the #1 game sold in the US every single year.
Yeah.
The only countries that buy games regularly is frickin' Japan and South Korea.
Just like I've been saying. All right, but you can't. I mean, no. I think it has to do with culture, obviously, because you know, the gamer that plays Madden and then maybe like either a free shooter like Apex or Fortnite, they're not really gonna care about, you know, Astrobot, the new Professor Layton game coming out on Switch. Though maybe like 10 people care about that one, but they're not really a part of the gamer. I almost said mainstream gamer culture, but really when you look at the numbers, mainstream gamer culture is buying 2K or Madden and Apex, and that's all you play.
I know. So exactly,
it's hard to think. Oh, for me, it gives me kind of the heebie-jeebies to think about, like, ooh, there's like, what gaming is kind of like got taken over by sports.
I know. I guess like even 2K, right? I know you don't play 2K. That's fine.
I've played it on occasion.
Yeah. Like every single year, 2K tries to do something more unique with like the it's not a campaign, but it's the career. There we go. Yep. Try to do something a little unique with the career. They add storyline. They bring in like pro players and have them do dialogues and cameo in it. And you know,
it makes it pretty funny. It
makes it pretty funny
because they can't act.
They cannot. when you have a pro player walk in and you can tell he was standing in a mocap suit for it, and he's just awkwardly dapping up your character.
It's one of the best things that game makes.
It's so funny. And I think they know that. I think they lean into it. I think that's where I just have a problem with Madden, is there's nothing unique every single year. Sometimes they change the button layouts, and that just makes people mad. And it's really funny because they try to do something.
Okay.
I'm just harping on Madden. I think I struggle with it being #1 game every single year.
Well, just sales wise though.
Yeah.
Like no one's saying it's the best game.
No one's saying it's the best game.
Right? So what's the issue?
It just sells so much by volume.
You just wish less people bought Madden.
I just wish more people bought other things.
Exactly. Like, do I wish that Astrobot became the best-selling game on the PlayStation 5 this year? Yeah.
It will lose to COD.
It will lose to COD. Well, I consider that cross-platform. I don't see those games as Sony games.
I think Astrobot will be the #1 sold Sony exclusive.
Sony exclusives. Stellar Blade came out this year.
I still think Astrobot beats that.
You think so?
I do, yeah.
We'll have to see. I am not hopeful in the
We literally will not know until Q3 earning report, and they might not even release it. So
yeah.
Like it's on them.
And I don't feel like they will release it because it's not like they want the success of you know, public opinion.
Yeah.
And if you release the numbers next to like, you know, odd numbers, it seems like, oh, that's not a success. It is a success. But yeah, it's interesting. Sorry, I'm looking up what's new in the new Madden, and so they marketed Christian McCaffrey as the cover athlete. That's a big point on this article for some reason.
It's a big point because they always have a star player.
Because that's what they changed. Because that's the big thing they changed. And then a re-engineered physics system, franchise mode updates, and new community commentary teams. So that doesn't sound like
nothing game breaking and nothing worth $60.
I mean, yeah, it's.
It feels like a new iPhone.
That's literally the comparison I was just about to make.
iPhone.
Is the FOMO of just like, man,
yeah,
my like, or you know, for the new NFL season, just like, man, I want to like run my fantasy league alongside my man team, blah blah blah.
I know, and people do it
because it's a hobby. It's a hobby. You can't knock people for having a different hobby.
I know. I don't. I watch football. I watch football every year.
Would this make you happy if it was a different categorization or whatever, and you didn't even need to think or talk about it? That'd make you happy.
Maybe.
Or you just want people to not engage. Period.
I think the struggle I have is it feels predatory on the back end of things.
It is.
And I think that's the struggle I have with it. I don't like supporting predatory game developers.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's
But you're not supporting.
No, I'm not supporting them, but I can actively thrash them on this podcast.
You can. You definitely can. And I don't think anyone is going to change their mind because if they're buying 2K, they're probably not listening to this podcast.
That's completely fair. I do want to bring up one last thing before we get anywhere. We did have someone leave us a very long comment about music from our previous discussion. And they wanted us to, and this is just more of a call out, because we had harped on GoldenEye a little bit.
I remember this.
And we both really enjoy GoldenEye, but we still harped on it a bit.
Yes.
Something we did not mention is just how good the music in GoldenEye is.
Yes, that is very true.
Every single map had a unique theme, and the menu had a unique theme.
The menu theme goes hard.
I know.
It goes super hard.
I have seen it come up in freaking memes. It is a background sound that just... Anyway, I just want to bring that up because if...
There's still better games than 97. I'm sorry.
There are better games than 97. I completely agree.
Games that should be game of the year besides 007.
But I'm still very happy, to say you are right. I listen to those soundtracks and they are phenomenal. Thank you for your recommendations.
Yes. I have been listening to other soundtrack recommendations.
Yes. If you leave a recommendation, we do listen to them.
I've been slowly adding to my playlist of video game soundtracks.
Yes. I'm very pleased that other people out there really enjoy the music too, because I think it's a big part of games.
I think so too, and it's something that's not talked about. I mean, we had a whole episode basically talking about it, but it's such an underrated part. But if it's bad,
I know
it's noticeable.
It's bad.
You know it's bad if it's bad, but when it's really good, it doesn't get its flowers.
I know it doesn't.
There's not even is there a best soundtrack at the game?
They do have it now.
Best sound design. I know that, but soundtrack is a little different.
Have an orchestra.
and that's a good celebration, I will say. I loved back when Xenoblade 3 came out, they had the flute guy. You remember the flute guy?
Flute guy,
the reason why flute guy exists is because of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 amazing soundtrack. So
anyway, I just want to give that shout out. Thank you.
Yes. Really quick before the episode ends.
Yeah.
There was another big culture thing that happened. I don't have too many opinions about it, but we should bring it up.
Oh yeah.
The Minecraft movie.
Oh yes, let's harp on this really quick. What drugs are you on?
I want them. That's all I'm saying.
I want to know what you're on. I don't know what you thought you were doing. I love Jack Black, but just sticking him in a blue shirt and calling him Steve does not make him Steve.
Their mistake was deciding to make a Minecraft movie.
I don't know. I feel like
honestly, how would you make a mass marketing appeal for a Minecraft movie?
I don't know.
You would get an A-list actor.
Yeah.
Or I guess, is he S tier? I mean, he's basically
he's definitely S tier.
He's S tier.
Yeah.
In terms of,
and Jason Momoa, A-list.
Yeah. What annoyed me actually was the portal they went through was blue instead of purple.
I know.
That's what I noticed.
And it's zombie pigmen in the piglins in the not zombies, so just the piglins in the overworld and not pillagers.
Well, I mean, I bet that's a plot point. I don't
know
if I can knock it
a plot point, but
what item did Jason Momoa craft? When
2 buckets on a chain.
2 buckets on a chain.
I've never seen that item in my life.
I'm like, Will we go see it? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna go see it.
Yeah. On a Tuesday night when the tickets are cheap.
If that makes you feel better about it.
It does make me feel better about it. I'm not paying $12 to go see that movie.
But like, I need to know who approved it. It must have been at least 20 people.
There's a chance. There is a chance that it might be goofy good.
Sure.
There is a chance that it might be goofy good.
No. I mean, I'm not going to judge a movie before. Well, I will. But, you know, I'm going to go watch it. So I would not say my full opinion on it.
Yep.
But I will say, I was not expecting that art style. I will say. Well, you hear there's a Minecraft movie, and you're like, that's dumb. You don't need what are you gonna make a movie about? Then you hear it's a live action Minecraft movie, you're like, that's dumb. Why is it gonna be live action? It's a Minecraft movie. Why are they making a Minecraft movie?
They're doing goofy Jumanji.
And then it's Jumanji's goofy to begin with, by the way. And then you hear, oh, they're gonna put Jack Black and Jason Momoa. I'm like, that's weird.
Jack Black's in Jumanji.
Jack Black is in Jumanji. And you're like, that's weird. Why are they? Who's Jack Black gonna play? Oh, he's Steve? That's stupid. Why are they making a live action Minecraft movie? That's stupid. Why are they making a Minecraft movie?
I know.
And I see the trailer. I feel like they're trying to make it a meme. So I mean, with the sheep. Well, yes, it's a meme because it's bad. It's kind of. I almost wonder if they're going to go for a Sonic movie approach. To be honest.
Do you think they're going to redo a bunch of it? Imagine.
I don't know.
They put it out predicting the backlash, and then they have a better version already made.
Yeah, honestly, that wouldn't surprise me.
Because, Sonic 3 is coming out soon.
With Keanu Reeves' Shadow.
Yeah. I enjoyed Sonic 1. I enjoyed Sonic 2.
If you go to theaters, you will hear a lot of people cheer for when a little girl dies. Is all I'll tell you.
Oh.
If the Sonic fans show up, at least.
I was not prepared for that. No.
Don't worry, you'll love it.
Okay, noted.
But that style of live action looks really good, I would say.
I think so too, especially since they went back and listened to the fans.
All right, here's what really bothers me, actually, now I'm thinking about it. The lighting that they're using for this movie, they spent way too much money on the CGI department and not properly lighting the characters feel like they're actually in the spaces. If you look at the trailer, you know, the part where he's like,
they're in a studio.
Steve.
They're in a studio on a green screen, and you can tell.
Yes. And you could tell very, very much.
Yes.
Like more than should be acceptable for a movie with that many resources.
They didn't take their pencil tool and match the shadows on the green screen to the shadows on the CG.
No, it's how they light it to begin with.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's bad, and they didn't match the bad.
I guess.
They're very bright, yet there's shadows on everything. I hear you.
No,
I got you.
It'll be interesting, is what I'll say. Just like this episode was. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you have any comments, any more soundtracks you want us to listen to, any other comments, concerns, questions, why does Micah like spreadsheets, that sort of deal. Please follow us on all our socials. Keep up with us in any way you see. Check out our shorts. I like our shorts.
I do too.
Yeah. Have a great day. See you around.
Bye.